What's going on, guys? Merry Christmas in a couple days. So, I bought these stupid Christmas hats, and I forgot to wear this one. So, last minute live stream. Let's talk about a little TDIU stuff. Hopefully, my audio is not blown out. I made a video earlier today, and last night's kind of sucked. So, let me know how blown out my audio is. Maybe I need to speak more softly into it. So anyway, Combat Craig here. Christmas Craig, like my canes. Walmart, $5.95. Not an accredited agent, not a lawyer, not a doctor, none of that kind of stuff. But we are going to be talking about TDIU claims and probably some claim stuff and some other stuff. Live stream kind of stuff. Got some green lights going on in the background. My little TV's got snow on it, but you can't see it because it blurs it out. But anyway, let's get into it. If you have questions, type the letter Q, and I know you have a question for me. Or you can throw me a super chat. Clyde needs to feed. I've been starving him, so he's lacking food. So I think that's pretty much it for the sound or for the housekeeping stuff. Outdoor Andy, cool. Sound is good. Awesome. Let's screen share it up. So this is a Facebook group that I'm a part of. I don't know if I've ever actually showed it. It's called the Veterans Claims Assistant Group. Been a member of this for a long time. Big group, 32,000 people. I do this, I've been showing this group because it's free, and a lot of you guys, want to go somewhere. I know you got to sign up for Facebook. Don't sign up for Facebook with your real name and stuff. Fake Facebook accounts, the way to go. But Doug's an admin here. He knows his stuff. Like I said, I get a lot of good info from him, so I want to make sure that I give proper credit to the group here. So go Google them up and sign up, and I think I'll put a link to this page and to this group. So I've recently had a few questions about TDIU, and you may be able to get 100% TDIU if you don't have the required percentages. Wanted to kind of talk through this, go a little bit slower than I do in some of my other videos. And, ask your TDIU questions. You want to see my hat better? Overhead cam. Yeah, the overhead cam really picking up those canes. Look at it. Look at those things, huh? That's looking pretty sweet. So you can kind of see my snow background through there somewhere. All right, so TDIU is part of VA disability compensation program that allows VA to pay certain veterans compensation at the 100% rate with all benefits, even though VA has not rated their service-connected disabilities at the 100% level. So that jibber jabber means if you are not able to obtain a 100% VA rating using VA's specially challenged math of 1 + 1 = -19. TDIU might be something that you want to consider. You can only get up to 70, 80%, and it affects your ability to work. TDIU, total disability based on individual unemployability, might be a good way for you to go. In order to qualify for TDIU under 38 CFR 4.16, there's an A and a B. 38 CFR is the Code of Federal Regulations. That is the law. This little thingy, it's like a little law thingy. Not sure exactly what kind of law thingy, but it looks pretty legal and professional to me. So there's two parts. A is scheduler TDIU. And in order to qualify for scheduler TDIU, a veteran must have one service-connected condition rated at 60% or higher, or two or more service-connected conditions, one of which is rated at 40 or higher, with a combined rating of 70. So very uneasy to think about this is the 60-40-70 rule. 60-40-70 rule, right? 60-40-70. That's easy to remember. Perfect. More VA math, even in TDIU world. So you may fall in this category. I remember I had a 60% rating a year and a half ago before I went and back from my latest round, and I was not familiar with TDIU. I did meet a lot of the qualifications, and this was something that I was looking at. And before I kind of read through this too much, one thing that I just want to stress, and I don't know if that's going to be down here or not, because a lot of these blog posts, I just kind of come in and I kind of know what's ahead of me. A vocational expert is important in a TDIU claim. They kind of just slide it through when you're filling out your form, your claim. And it's like, hey, can you work? Would you like to apply for TDIU? Like, yeah, sure. What the hell? Why not? Not so much. I would probably check no on that box until you know what you're doing. Your doctor and your medical records, medical evidence, medical disability, that doesn't change. But your doctor can only go so far and talk about your limitations and stuff like that. Sometimes that's enough. A lot of veterans win TDIU claims without a vocational expert. But a vocational expert carries the same amount of weight as a doctor in a TDIU claim, because they could talk about the labor laws, what that job you normally would have been doing, or your career job, and how your disabilities affect it. Your doctor says you can only lift so much. Vocational expert can go on and speak about, everybody's got to lift something and they got to drive somewhere and they're limited. If we're going to hop over into Social Security disability insurance, which I don't really want to hop over there too much, they have a vocational expert sitting next to the judge, kind of doing something similar. So as a VA claim, is not like a SSDI claim at all, two separate bureaucracies. Something to think about. I would strongly urge you to get a vocational expert. So this is the first TDIU rating, 4.16A, scheduler. However, as of about 2013, veterans who do not meet the scheduler requirements may still be considered for extra scheduler TDIU. Extra special, right? Importantly, extra scheduler TDIU does not have the underlying rating requirement, which, what is that? We know what that is, right? Of course, it's the 60-40-70 rule. We've covered that extensively now. So if you do not have 60% or higher, or 2 or more service-connected conditions, 1 at 40 with a combined to 70, extra scheduler TDIU might be something for you. And that's if you don't meet those requirements. So if this is the case, no specific percentage requirement is required. You do need to be service connected for something. Technically, you could have a 0% rating for hearing loss. So you're service connected, but you're at 0%. You don't get paid shit. You could technically, and I'm sure it's been done a lot of times, I'm sure, want a TDIU claim. So you're rated at 0, you get paid at 100 and get all the benefits of 100. So that's extra scheduler TDIU. Little different requirements. The director will write an opinion as to whether your service-connected condition prevents you from securing and following substantially gainful employment. Substantially gainful employment, ladies and gentlemen. VA will then agree or disagree with the director's opinion to either grant or deny TDIU on an extra scheduler basis. So a little bit different deal. Got to go up a little bit higher on the chain to get this special approval because it's extra scheduler. I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'd be focusing on the medical evidence and the vocational expert. And it really comes down to, are you able to maintain substantially gainful employment Little part-time employment doesn't count. Sheltered work environment doesn't count. Making $8,000 a year when the poverty level is 12 grand, that doesn't count. There are some things that you need to consider, but you can get extra scheduler TDIU. So the standard for granting TDIU based on an extra scheduler basis is a finding that the case presents such an exceptional or unusual disability picture. Wow. Unusual disability picture? Take a screenshot of this. This right here. This is an unusual disability picture. Something like that, right? With such related factors as marked interference with employment or frequent periods of hospitalizations as to render impractical the application of regular scheduler requirements. A little bit of a tongue twister. Again, this all just points back to substantially gainful employment, right? So if you have interference with employment, such as frequent periods of hospitalizations, stuff like that, it is impractical for you to work. I mean, if you're in the hospital like 1 week a month or something like that, or 2 weeks a month, or 4 months at a time, twice a year, whatever it is, this is where one of those special circumstances would come in. Extra scheduler TDIU might work. And again, all you need to be is 0% service connected. That one's probably tough. Probably should have done my homework and got some stats on that one, but I don't have them. I'm just sure people have wanted it 0. This means the VA is looking for unique circumstances that show the veteran is unemployable due to their service-connected disabilities, even though they don't meet extra scheduler rating requirements. Some suggestions if you file for extra scheduler TDIU. You should not have any non-service connected conditions causing unemployability. So if I am not service connected for my back or my neck, and if those cause me, I can work because of my not service connected neck or back, you don't want that. You want your service connected thing to be the primary driver. Remember, we're an extra scheduler here. We're talking 0, 10, 20, 30% ratings, under 60, right? You need to show that you cannot do sedentary work. Sedentary work is defined. This is a great place for a vocational expert to really break down what sedentary work is. A doctor will say, hey, he can't do sedentary work. Vocational expert will define it. Sedentary work means sitting on your ass. Not that simple. I sit on my ass. I don't do it for very long. I take frequent breaks. Sometimes I don't sit on my ass, day after day. So there's a lot more to a sedentary job, and it's a good idea to get a vocational expert to lay it out because they want to hear it from somebody that's, like a professional, not just you, but you need to, do a personal statement as well. You'll need to specifically request extra scheduler consideration. Oh, that's a tongue twister for me. Better go to the overhead Clyde cam. Clyde, what you doing, mister? Clyde, hi, big boy. Are you on camera? Where's your waggy tail? Yeah, very happy. I can't do overhead cam when I'm doing the screen share. So you'll need to specifically request it. If you do not meet the scheduler requirements on VBA form 21-4138, submitted with VBA form 21-526 EZ, that is the form you file your claim on, then you're also going to want to file, whoa, this is I'm offline. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me? I think I went offline. Yikes. Am I online or not? It just said I went offline. Oh, wait a second. Offline? Yes, no. Am I offline? Am I online? All right, I'm going to go with we're online again. Sorry, don't know what happened. Okay, so let me get back over to the screen here. Okay, so having a medical professional or vocational expert opinion will go a long way. I was covering that. Vocational expert is huge, I think, in all TDIU claims. The more medical evidence you have in the form of statements from medical professionals, independent medical opinions, vocational counselors, the better for your claim. These statements must address how your service-connected conditions prevent you from maintaining gainful employment or substantially gainful employment. I'm back on? Okay, cool. Yeah, my screen just popped up and it was like offline, so not sure what happened. Keep in mind that extra-scheduler TDIU cases can be difficult to win. The VA does not typically like to grant TDIU on an extra-scheduler basis. I would argue the VA doesn't like to schedule a whole lot of anything on any kind of basis. But keep that in mind. It's an uphill battle. I mean, you have the right medical evidence and a vocational expert. You approach it like any other claim, even though TDIU technically isn't its own separate claim. I'll go into that a little bit more later. And then this last part, examples I know of: migraines at 50%, severe hearing loss at 50%, and severe low back condition at 40%. Each claim is different, so your situation must be clearly communicated to the VA with proper evidence. That covers this little part of it. Now we can go to the overhead cam. Oh, look, Clyde's up on a boat. All right, let's see. Let's do a couple questions. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell. If you don't like candy canes, I've been known to show up wearing candy canes instead of a cowboy hat. Usually only around Christmas, but you never know. Let's see what everybody's doing tonight. Ask me some questions about VA claims. Anybody, when was I on last night? So probably not much has changed if you were watching last night or the night before. But let me know if anything has changed. You get a rating decision? Anybody in the Hundo Club? Anything like that? Merry Christmas. I am crazy, man. And a lot of you guys are crazy too. And speaking of crazy, I gotta go take a break real quick. All right, that's where we're at. So you've been on TDIU for 3 years. You were first reviewed last November by an outsourced organization, and you reduced back down to 70. You appealed it, and you're waiting on the review. It sucks. And they might dink you for back pay. Okay, so the outsourced organization, that sounds like you were sent to a CNP exam by a contractor. So you were reduced, your 100% TDIU is reduced back down to 70, which you were always at 70, you were just getting paid at the 100% rate. Did you find out why? You probably got a rating reduction notice before that happened. Did you find out? And then were you working? It's kind of a fine line when you're dealing with sheltered work environment, protected work environment. Were you doing anything like that? Did you make over the poverty level? Those would be just a couple of things that I would think would trigger it. Or I think they send you a letter every year asking you if you worked or whatever, and if you blew that off, that could trigger it. A bunch of things could trigger it. Let me know if you could tell me more about it. What up, gun guy? You wanted to rewatch my last video again? Yeah, I posted a video this morning. It needs a little bit more work, so that one's going to be reposted. Fernando, what's going on, man? What's going on? Mexico, 100% with your SMC in the house. Outdoor Andy is here. What's going on? You're blasting my music. It's becoming my theme song. I just kind of like it, and it works. Combat Craig theme song, I guess, right? It is White Claw 30. And school, how did you get reduced? Hope you wasn't working. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Something you were either working or you weren't reporting your work, or it was work related, I'm thinking. But you could tell us more, and I'm sure you already did. Merry Christmas, Navy diver Gary. Merry Christmas. It's okay to say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Jean. Thanks, Laura Black. I Christmased it up, and I got one more silly hat that I'm going to be wearing tomorrow. So I was like, oh, shit. I have two silly hats. I forgot my candy cane hat, so I better just go pop on. So appreciate you guys joining me tonight with absolutely no notice. Yep, I've been seeing some pretty funny reindeer graphics and stuff on the interwebs the last couple days, military related. Pretty funny. M Steel, what's going on, man? Surf Jer, Merry Christmas to all my brother and sister veterans and service men and women. Merry Christmas. Not sure who to speak with. You can speak with anybody in here. What's up, Christopher? I'm glad you like my hat. I did try to attempt to fashion this over the cowboy hat. No such luck. That's another reason why I have problems with my microphone. I can't wear headphones with my cowboy hat. I guess I could. I got these ones that are wireless and kind of go behind you. Not wireless, but yeah, I don't have in-ear monitors, so I apologize. My audio's whack. You can work if you're TDIU. General rule of thumb is don't work. You can work. You better understand what the limits and restrictions are, because that one sounds like a slippery slope. Whatever the poverty line is, right? Oh, well, you can make over 12,000. Well, what happens if they lower the poverty line and it's like now it's 1150 and you've been making 12 grand? Oops, TDIU's yanked. Yeah, my protected work environment. Well, it's not. We don't consider that protected anymore. Slippery slope. Understand what the limitations are, and just watch out for them. Safest way is to not work, but I get it. I mean, we're crazy. We need to work. We need to feel like we're doing something productive. What's the point in life if you can't work, can't provide, don't have any hobbies and stuff like that? But I got it. You're afraid to get TDIU at 34 years old. If you have the criteria to meet it, I wouldn't be afraid of getting it. Especially, I mean, think about it like this. If you're unable to work and you're getting paid at the 60 or 70% rate, right? 12, 1,300, 1,400 bucks or whatever it is. And then you get up to 3,100, that's going to feel better. I wouldn't be afraid based on age. They will consider it. But go for it anyway. If you can't work and you can prove it, vocational expert, medical evidence. Interesting gun. Not sure where my gun is. Yeah, so vocational experts are actually, like a huge industry, and I'm not talking about folk rehab, VR and E at the VA. Stay way far away from those guys. Vocational experts they're more popular for back of letter terminology for it in workers' comp claims. Workers' comp is a huge industry, right? So when you slip and fall and hurt yourself on the job, a vocational, you're going to get a lawyer. The lawyer's going to send you to a doctor. Same deal, doctors, lawyers, right? In TDIU claims, a vocational expert is almost always involved. So they're around all over the place. I don't know how big workers' comp is, probably bigger than the VA. So they're around. Vocational expert, Google it. I bet you'll find a bunch of hits near you, or, within an hour or two or something like that. And again, this isn't like a vocational expert. It's not like a hands-on orthopedic exam. They're just going to do a records review and then write an opinion. So you can hire a vocational expert anywhere in the country, totally legal, totally fine. Just get one. Yikes. Don't do that. And voc rehab, counselor is a fake name. They're not there to counsel you. They're there to put you into a truck driver job and pay as little as possible. Yeah, do not go to voc rehab, no VR&E, and he's not a counselor. Do your research about VR&E before you get too deep into it, because all of a sudden you're going to be thinking this guy's your friend. Definitely not your friend. He's trying to get you to agree to truck driving school or paying as little as possible. And you can do much better than that. You can get full-blown college degrees. You got to talk to them a certain way, but not a counselor in the traditional sense like you would find at your junior college or high school. All right, let's see. TDIU can earn up to the poverty level of approximately 12 grand. If the VA finds out that you're working, they may reduce your rating after review. Reduce your rating to what, Paul? I don't get what you're saying. If you're at 100, you're at 100. So that's just kind of where you're at. So I don't know what, maybe you got special monthly compensation on top of it. That's possible. Tom Marine vet, takes a more realistic. This is a more safe approach. You can't work. You can make so much, but literally people will work and then they miss that poverty level thing, or they go over and it's like, oh shit, now what am I going to do? Well, you're going to get yanked. That's what's going to happen. So the easiest way, you're supposed to not be working anyway. So just, keep that in mind. Yeah, and a lot of people, this all comes down to medical evidence and stuff, filling out the forms on your own. If you have it in your medical records, it can be pretty easy, very easy. I always like to err on the side of caution. Show up to the battle with way more medical evidence, way more vocational evidence. There's no such thing as overproving your claim, right? You either win or you lose. So it's better to get stacked up with more. But yeah, people get TDIU on their own all the time. I guarantee you, your medical records, you either got your private records into the VA or you had them in there and your records were stacked up and you had plenty of evidence in there. You can get one on Google. Get a hum. So if you get TDIU, you get paid at a 100% rate. In a lot of cases, they will take a look at your claim. Say you're at 70%, you apply for TDIU. They can make you 100% permanent and total TDIU. So P&T comes with TDIU a lot. If I'm just I'm not counting, I'd probably say I see it about 60-40, like 40% of the time I see it, 60% I don't. Again, comes down to a lot of factors, age, how severe everything is. But yeah, a lot of people get 100% TDIU, P&T, and then, they're happy with that. And then they, start coming on to YouTube and like, wow, I don't want TDIU, I want scheduler. And I get that, but you're already 100% P&T. So if you go file a claim to go try to increase your 70 up, you're opening yourself up to getting your P&T potentially taken away. So just know what you're getting into before you do it. Oh, that's right, Tom. I forgot. You did have TDIU on appeal at the BVA. You filed more claims, got the TDIU, and you also got the 100% P&T scheduler. I totally forgot about that. I don't know. I was having a glitch. It could be me with the avatars. But if you have a PC, it's messing up. Yep, don't be afraid of filing for your benefits. Get the compensation you earned and deserve, but be aware that every time you go file for an increase, especially if you're already at 100% permanent total, you're not protected, but you're basically protected from future exams. So by filing another claim, you just remove the future exams, and you're like, I guarantee you're going to get a C&P exam, and you could get reduced in the process. So don't be afraid of doing it. Just be aware that that's possible. ATX Patriot, what's up, homeboy? What are you talking about, John? I got my candy cane cowboy hat on. You can't see it? It's got the Stetson right here and all that. Yeah. Our big raise went to foreign countries we destroyed. Yep. Lots of shithole countries are getting lots of money, aren't they? Clyde is over here. Look at, what are you doing, boy? Are you so loud over there? You want a minty? What are you doing, boy? Okay. Let me give Clyde a little minty real quick. Come on, get back on your bed and be cute. It's nice having the GoPro cam. I don't have to worry about, I'm kind of blocking Clyde. Combat Clyde is in the house. Thanks, Cornelius. Okay, let's see. We can hear me. Merry Christmas, Rusty. I cannot remember that guy's name. Hank or something? King of the Hill? I know I was getting stuck on your avatar a couple weeks ago. Oops. All right, let's see. Laker Raider. Yes, enjoy the holidays. Blessings to the ones who know it's for them. And yeah, reach out to a veteran. This is a tough time for veterans. I got like a whole Christmas tree with no presents and nothing around it, some lights. So I come on here to not be so lonely during these times. So I'm lucky that way, I guess. But a lot of veterans aren't. This is a tough time. So reach out to a vet and check up on your battle buddy. Not a crack pipe. It's a vape pipe. Ooh, there we go. This is good insight. So you've never granted extra scheduler IU in the 9 years you've rated claims. So yeah, I know they're rare. If you haven't even granted one in 9+ years and you rate claims for a living, I'd say that's pretty damn rare for sure. Yeah, there wasn't much of a notification, Tom. I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and roll on the candy cane ears and do it. I think I had about 10 minutes notification, so sorry about that. So let's see. Tom got denied your claim for TDIU, and with the same evidence, you took your fight to the BVA, and they granted the claim with $20,000 back pay. Back to the 70s or something, right, Tom? Or the 80s? What is your Q, Illuminati? I've heard this. This is a rumor. I've heard this rumor again. I'm very new to VA claims and stuff like that, year and a half, but I have heard this one floating around. Not necessarily the age 67, but this kind of concept of they want to, or they're thinking about, or whatever, thinking about reducing veterans off of TDIU that reach a certain retirement age. That's just a rumor. Until that actually gets passed into law, it's just people flapping their gums. So as far as I know, that is not law, and it's nothing to worry about. People talk about it. Good luck. The Congress members that come forward and push that one up, they're probably not going to get a whole lot of veteran support. The three most common special monthly compensations are loss of use, which is K, housebound, which is S, and aid in attendance, which is, I don't know. What is that one, L or something? Yeah, Tom whooped up on him pretty good. Lost his TDIU claim, went back at him, got 20 grand worth of back pay, and got 100 P&T scheduler as well. Well, do you have are you just 100% TDIU, or are you 100% TDIU P&T? That's one that I would pay attention to. P&T is given to you by the VA. You can request it, but it's kind of more of a, if you deserve it and they see it, they'll give it to you. I don't know if I would be asking them for it. I would be happy with the 100%. But you could work on other ratings. Just remember, you're at 100, and every time you just, don't be afraid, but make sure that your records are you can back up your ratings so you don't get reduced. So you grant IU on a regular basis, but never extra scheduler. Yep. Question for you, ATX Patriot. If you can, any kind of percentage, or a couple questions. So how much weight does a vocational expert actually have to you? And then how many IU claims have you seen or came across your desk for rating that had a vocational expert? I want to kind of, you have a good flavor since this is what you do for a living. I don't want to steer people in the wrong direction. I kind of am along this thought of the more evidence, the better, and that would be along those lines. You had your CNP for GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, today. Hope that went well. I'm sure your anxiety is still flustered up, but you got that out of the way, and now it's time to wait for that decision letter, unless you have more CNP exams. But I'm glad you got that out of the way. That's a good load off. I know that feeling. Get that, depending on how many CNP exams you have, the more you knock down, it's like, great, got that out of the way. Can you get compensated for sleep apnea? I hear you can't. VA did a sleep study on me and determined that I do have sleep apnea. They gave me a CPAP, which I've been using for 2 years now. So this is a multi-part question. Can you get compensated for sleep apnea? Yes. I hear you can't. Incorrect. They did a sleep study, which means you got a diagnosis and you got a CPAP machine. So you got some of it. You might be feeling pretty good about it. Your problem is going to be the nexus. How are you going to connect that to your active duty service? I would think long and hard about trying to do a direct service connection if you did not have your sleep study done while on active duty. And more people do sleep apnea claims as secondary basis, nexus, nexus, nexus. And the verbiage is more aggravated by versus caused by. Good point. A lot of these, 20 grand and 50 grand and preserving your effective date. Looking back on it, I was underrated for about 25 years. So I'm at 100% now. Do the math. Tons and tons and tons of money. You're on active duty. You might be medically discharged. What do I need to do prior to getting out? Go to the doctor for everything. While you're still in, you're on active duty. So go get checked out about your erectile dysfunction. Go get your mental health checked out. Any migraine issues you may or may not have, or any headaches. Any TBI stuff you may or may not know about. Get a sleep study, because you don't even know if you have sleep apnea. I was just diagnosed last year. I had no clue I had sleep apnea. It's mild. It's nice to know. I knew I had insomnia. Get a colonoscopy if they'll give you one. IBS. I don't know what the check for GERD is. Get all these things done on active duty, so when you get out, it's like, yeah, I got the diagnosis. I got the full-blown heavy-duty test. It makes it a lot easier for the reader. Seriously effed up. Does that mean fucked up? Yeah, I'm not familiar with the higher SMCs, but thanks for clarifying that. And there's ones higher than that. SMCT, right? That's a TBI one. I think that's one of the higher ones. Eventually, I should quit talking about how I don't know about special monthly compensation and go learn about it. Just hasn't happened. Elton, Merry Christmas to you as well. Can someone with 100% scheduler P&T use his post 9/11 GI Bill without getting? Yeah. And I don't know. I got a general discharge, so I never even got a chance to do my GI Bill. But your GI Bill is an educational benefit. It's not going to trigger anything related to a VA claim that I'm familiar with. Look into it, but I'm like 99% sure that is an education thing over here versus a claim. VA gives you a CPAP machine, they give you a diagnosis, and you think you're off to the races. You don't have a service connection, which is the nexus. That's where almost all veterans get hooked up. The longer you've been out, the harder that part is. That is the hardest part to do a sleep apnea claim secondary, especially if you've been out for a while. Or if you didn't get it diagnosed in service, actually. Victor's 90%, still waiting for TDIU since October, huh? Yeah, things are going a little slow at the moment. Jason's got a two-part question, since too many words. The VA called after receiving my first initial claim and said it's better to have my secondaries listed as primaries. Incorrect. You list your secondaries as primaries, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Denied, 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 denied. Because just so you know, and there's no such thing as a primary. It's called direct service connection. So if you've been out for a while and you're filing a direct service connection, that means this thing that's bothering me right now, 52 years old, is directly caused by when I was 19. That's a leap. Long amount of years, right? What's that, 29, 30 years? Now, if it's caused on a secondary basis, it can be hooked up on a secondary basis as something that's already service connected. I know that probably came out kind of retarded, but no, that is not true. Do not listen to that doctor. They will look at it. They can't just ignore any claim that you file, but look into that, and that is not true. And there's also no such thing as primaries, although I'm sure I've called it primaries. Yeah, PTSD at 50%. How are you feeling about that 50% rating? Does that feel accurate? Does that accurately reflect your social and occupational impairment? If so, good. I'm not glad to hear that you have PTSD, obviously. I have it as well. 50 sounds low, just generally speaking. The average rating for PTSD is 70. That's why I say that. You might want to think about an increase if your symptoms are worse. YouTube helps a lot, helped me a lot, absolutely. A lot of good info on YouTube. Yep. The CPAP means you have sleep apnea. You have to have a diagnosis to even get a CPAP. So that's the confusing part. A lot of this is getting a diagnosis in the first place, and then the CPAP is an automatic 50% if you can get the nexus to stick. There's a lot of confusing parts about a sleep apnea claim, but focus in on the nexus and the verbiage of the nexus and get whatever doctor's going to do your nexus. That one, you need to make sure they know how to verbiage it up. Here's part 2 of your question. Said you qualify for a general medical exam since you just got out. Oh, okay, so you got out. Okay, I'm sorry, Jason. So I'm now kind of getting clear that you are within your year time frame. Let me know if that's right. If that's the case, scratch everything I said. Direct service connection is definitely the way to go. You don't want to file secondaries within your first year of being out. You can make them all stick as direct service connections, AKA primary, but primary doesn't exist. Hope that cleared it up, Jason. Got to be in that year, man. 11 months and 29 days or whatever, 364 days or whatever a year is these days. Yes, this is a good question. Very hard to get. Okay, let me hop up. Very hard to get sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. This is coming from a rater. I'm going to say that he probably has looked at quite a few sleep apnea claims secondary to PTSD, and he saw weak nexuses, would be my guess. But generally speaking, I'm sorry, let me go into that a little deeper. So, sleep apnea is a physical breathing condition, PTSD is a mental health condition. You need an intermediate step in between the two. Totally forgot about that part. That's what makes sleep apnea tricky. Let me know if I'm on track with that, ATX Patriot. So if you're taking PTSD meds for PTSD, your meds made you gain weight and sleep apnea, that would be an example of an intermediate step. Got to get that intermediate step in there. Weight gain will be addressed. So get in front of it and have some kind of explanation for it. Just my opinion. I give a lot of opinions. VR&E, I went and applied for it. Walked in there like a little sheep, little doe-eyed deer sheep with candy canes. And the guy said, oh, yeah, he's a counselor. And I was like, oh, okay, counselor, like a good guy. No clue. VR&E, vocational VR&E counselor. Yeah, they're not a counselor. They're there to pay you as little as possible and educate you. They're not even there to educate you. They're there to employ you. So I think it's sneaky the way the VR&E program is. Just me, though, my opinion. One guy with candy canes on his head. Good question. We're still talking about sleep apnea. If there was an easy way, everyone would be doing it. Yep. I think I just answered this one. I'm going to go with no, you can't. Cool. Yeah, Jason, you got a ATX as a rater. And all you guys. Keep asking him questions. He's been hopping on my live streams a lot. Like, this is literally, I mean, he's not going to reveal who he is. He has thrown his email address out. I'm not going to do it on his behalf if he wants to throw it out and ask you guys stuff. But I appreciate that he hops in all the time because I'm not always right. My interpretation of the law, what I think is right, it's nice to know something straight from the horse's mouth. But the caveat to that is you file a claim in a veteran-friendly environment, and then he is using the M21 adjudication manual and the law, CFR, and then if you get denied, then you go a step above him, potentially, to a higher level review, supplemental, BVA, Court of Veterans Appeal, Court of Veterans Claims, CAVC. And then that's a different level, and it's all law. It's not a mixture of the M21 and the CFR. But we don't want you to go do that for 5 years. You want to, try to get this thing banged out, proved up, and won first time around. Yes, lots. Good point, Alex. Thank you. Yeah, most disabilities have a cap percentage. Headaches have a 50. A lot go up to 100. That's why if you have a disability or you're going to file a claim for a disability, Google it, get into the CFR, figure out what the rating criteria is, so you have an idea of what your symptoms are, and then it kind of tells you, like, hey, if you're at 30, these are your symptoms. If you're at 50, these are your symptoms. A lot of them go up to 100, but 100's severe. Again, just using PTSD, 70% is the average rating, and that basically means deficiencies in most areas of your social and work life. That itself is open to interpretation, but since I have that, and I have that problem, couple divorces, lots of challenges in my social life, non-existent, but just while I thought I had a social life, it wasn't very social, and then a lot of challenges in my work life as well. That next step above it is 100% PTSD, total social and occupational impairment. That's different. I scored this at Walmart. They might be on sale 2 days before Christmas. I went to Walmart today, as a matter of fact, and with all the I don't even want to say the C word. But I go at 7:01 is when I roll into Walmart. It's great. Nobody's there. I'm in and out of there. And I can go through the whole shopping thing and go buy some random shit for the kitchen and go browse like, oh yeah, I got this thing. I got this today for $20. Hey, make noise. How's he make noise? You push on. So anyway, that would be a 7:15 a.m. impulse purchase. He doesn't stand up very good, but he's a cute little guy. Okay, let's see what we got. What happens if and what's up, Raymond? Haven't seen you in here in a while. I got your message the other day, or your note on YouTube. So what happens if my C&P examiner puts an untrue statement on your DBQ? How would I challenge that? Could I do a 21-41-38 stating the incorrect information? This falls into the inadequate C&P exam category, Raymond. I don't know. I know Alex is pretty onto this stuff. You're a smart guy too. And maybe you'll just get your question answered. Inadequate C&P exam is the way that I would do that. And yeah, 21-41-38 would be a good way to document that and explain exactly what happened. And Comeback Craig's got to go take his little baby bladder break, so stand by. Sorry for leaving you hanging, everybody. All right, let's see. Get that education. I agree. Maybe. Yeah, it's a tough claim. No doubt about it. So, yeah, it is like a lot of people do appeal it. And ATX Patriots saying that they're tough. So, take that. I think those are both factual statements. Never too late to the party. TDIU, total disability based on individual unemployability. Most people just refer to it as IU, individual unemployability. Basically, if you're unable to work and you have a rating lower than 100%, if you prove your TDIU claim upright, you can get paid at the 100% rate while maintaining a 60, 70, 80, or 0, which doesn't happen very often, rating. Yep, PNT has some Champ VA. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff. I don't even have that off the top of my head. Yep. You're going to go over 100. They just didn't want to give me SMC. Yeah, I mean, you could appeal it. You can challenge it. Just kind of take a look at that. Don't. A lot of people just kind of the guys and girls that I know that just kind of ended up with SMC. It kind of came along with their 100, so they proved it and it came along with it. I see that more common, like, whoa, out of the blue, I got SMC too, than going and getting it afterwards. Not saying it doesn't happen, that's just kind of what I've seen, but my scope is limited. I see what I see. Italian Pride. Hi. Short answer, yes. We like short answers. Been waiting for QTC to send the exam report over to the VA for a month. That's a whole process. I don't have any vision to. ATX Patriot would have more vision, but I think what he would say is there's a process. So he would request a CNP exam. Now it's all done by outside contractors. And then they have their process, whatever the hoops the VA makes them jump through. So it's going to come back when it comes back. I don't know if there's a time limit. I think, it should be back in 30 days, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're blaming it on all the stuff that's going on right now. If you're 70% PTSD, you were awarded last year, you did that yourself, you just appealed with a lawyer, are your odds good? Not really sure what so maybe you're trying to appeal a 70% PTSD rating because you think it should be 100. A lawyer knows how to play the game better, but it still comes down to medical evidence. So if you have the criteria at the total social and occupational impairment level and all the medical conditions and findings and all that good stuff to go along with it, they will be good. Again, lawyers, that's what they do, right? This, I call it squishy VA law. A lot of things that are open for interpretation. I would say that the fact that you got a lawyer and he took your claim, that's a good sign. So your odds are, I guess your odds are good, but do you have total social and occupational impairment or not? That's what it's going to come down to, and proving that. Merry Christmas to you as well. A 14-point medical contention withdrawn because there's no point. There's no back pay. You're already at 100%. So that's another thing people ask about as well. So you Maybe you filed too many claims. You got some deferred, which isn't good or bad, just there's not enough info to make a decision. And then something comes back and it's like 100% P&T. And you're like, oh shit, I don't want those other three ones. Done. Yeah, you can withdraw those medical contingents. And actually, Ryan, I think you just did that, right? I think you withdrew your medical contingents, or you were talking about doing it. So that is it. I withdraw my last two claims and all medical contingents. It is tough times, man. I hear you. Candy canes will cheer you up. Thanks, Chavez. I'm happy to see everybody tonight. Seeing you guys means that you're alive and we're talking. We're talking about stuff. Might not be the most cheerful stuff to talk about, but we're all veterans. We all have mental health problems. Most of us. We have issues for sure. We have a common bond. It's not our fault that we're the way we are. We went in when we were kids, and we did what we did to sign up for, and we came out broken, and we came out with problems. And I'm glad to see all your smiley faces as well. And stay as positive as possible. Christmas is difficult for a lot of us. I'm alone, but I got Clyde, and but I'm not alone because I got you guys. So I got a bigger family than normal. So I'm rocking Christmas. We're going to do Christmas Eve. We're going to do Christmas Day. Thumbs up do help me out. Let's see what we got here. Let's go live demo mode. Dun dun dun. So 130 people watching, 86 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. Meh. I'm going to avoid commenting on politics, and I usually do not qualify or comment on religion. Uh-oh, 3 thumbs down now. Somebody didn't like what I was saying. Another thumb up. P&T, I think is permanent and totally disabled. That comes along with 100%. That is tricky as well, and you guys can hop in if you're not already opining. There's a rating that says you're permanent, and then there's another one that says there's permanently disabled, there's totally disabled. It's the combo of the two, permanently and totally disabled. That is P&T, and it's only associated with 100% rating. SMCS is, what is that? Housebound, right? So having one rating at 100.
Thanks for the super chat.
Thanks for the super chat. Let's throw you up real quick. Oh, I'm going to miss a lot of these. Right on, man. Thanks. You know what? Since I'm in the Christmas spirit, I'm going to get Clyde sick of eating minties tonight. Let's go to the overhead Clyde cam. Clyde? We got a super chat. Would you like a little minty? Good boy. Go on. I used to do this thing where I would do super chats and then feed Clyde a minty. And after doing that for a couple of nights, he was just sick, eating 15, 17 minties. So I wasn't doing him any favors. Obviously, he wasn't complaining a whole lot. All right, scrolling back up. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Going back up. All right, I'm going to miss a couple of you guys. 13 buddy statements. Couldn't believe you didn't receive 100%. Buddy statements are considered supporting medical evidence. They are you explaining your condition. They support your medical disability from your doctor, your diagnosis. So if you are inserting a buddy statement in the place of a diagnosis, you're going to get it denied. You need to have the diagnosis. You need to have the nexus. I don't know what your situation is. Always submit a buddy statement or a personal statement along with every one of your disabilities. 13 sounds like a lot. You're probably going to get some deferrals. Next time you go at it, I'd cut that down quite a bit. 13's quite a few claims. Okay. How hard is it to get service connection on insomnia for deployment from 2 years ago? You have a diagnosis, so that's a good first step. How severe is it? It's another step. And then since you've been out for a couple of years, you're going to need to link your insomnia to your active duty service. So I don't know if you're already service connected for something. If not, then your choice is the direct service connection route. You were deployed. You might even be able to throw a combat PTSD claim in there as well. But hard, but if you do it right, with the right medical evidence, your chances are good. Nothing is impossible. Cool. Glad I explained it properly. Yep. Be truthful. Be truthful with the VA, with all your dealings. Remember, every time you file a claim, every time you talk to a VHA, Veterans Health Administration doctor, they write notes. They document everything. So if you're contradicting yourself, that's no bueno, which means no good. That's a little Espanol for you guys. So easiest thing to do is to just tell the truth, because then you don't have to worry about keeping your lies straight. And this isn't something like you can just shake off. You're going to file increases in the future. Your conditions are going to get worse when you're older. If you're lying your ass off in your 20s, it's going to haunt you in your 40s. Just something to, think about. The Warrior, what's up? December 18th was your last day, so you're a civvy now, huh? Merry Christmas. Get medical evidence. Buddy statements are not. They are technically considered medical evidence, but it's not. Like medical evidence, right? Doctor, diagnosis, right? Severity of symptoms, DBQs, that kind of stuff. You speaking about your own disability is not very strong. Why? Because you're a layman. You are not a doctor. Even if you had MD after your name, you would probably be better off. I'm sure doctors have disabilities too. They probably get their other doctors to write their diagnosis and stuff up. I'm sure that's a conflict of interest. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's going on. DBQ, sorry, use a lot of acronyms. Thank you. Keep asking questions. There's no stupid questions. And I'll just keep walking through this. I know these have been answered. I see a lot of comments in here. No stupid questions. It's not a race to see who's the smartest. I'm as smart as I am, and I know what I know, and I learn every day and all that kind of stuff. So a DBQ stands for a Disability Benefits Questionnaire, and it's like a standardized form, and I don't know how many of them there are. Like 80 or something like that. And like there's a DBQ for migraines, DBQ for combat PTSD, DBQ for leg problems, DBQ for foot problems. So you get a hold of the DBQ, you can download them all, hopefully from the VA's website again here sooner than later if that law passes. And then you can see, that's the form you fill out. That's the form that raters are accustomed to looking at. And at the CNP exam, that's what the CNP examiner is filling out, an internal use DBQ. So it's nice to have your own DBQ from a private doctor, if you can get one, to, kind of like, yep, here's my story. CNP examiner agrees with that story. That's good. Disability Benefits Questionnaire, yep. weird named Alex. What's up, weirdo? Alex. Alex, you're weird. Your questions are weird. Is it true the C&P examiner determines your rating? The RVSR just interprets doctor's notes and applies 38 CFR. I'm not going to answer that because Alex likes to come in here and ask complicated questions. So no answer for you, homeboy. INC, is that incomplete maybe? I don't know, actually. You got your gingerbread avatar, kind of matches my candy canes. So you're granted 30% for MDD, major depressive disorder, in September, and you're increased to 50. Awesome, that's good. Obviously, it's not good that you have major depressive disorder. I have it, and it sucks. But it sounds like the increase is good for you. So that's a little bright light, bright spot. Cool. I think he threw his email out the other night. Might have done it and I missed it. Get on him while you can, guys. You're not going to get I doubt he's going to get on the phone with you. I'm going to say no. Just remember, it's a weird deal. I've been doing live streams for a while. ATX Patriot showed up and started supporting me like 3 months ago. And he's in these live streams a lot. And like, this is like straight from the horse's mouth. This is the kind of guy that you are filing a claim for. It's like going to land on his desk. So ask away if he posts his email address. But yeah, he's not gonna come on here and do like an interview format with me. I like him being in here. I love the information that he provides. But anonymity is important, and he needs to stay anonymous. Looks like a lot of people are asking for your email, scrolling down through here. Love the Baby Yoda. Looks like I'm only about a half hour behind on the comments. Perfect. Nobody can tell you when a claim will be complete. You're dealing with the VA like a tossed salad. Truer words couldn't be spoken. Nobody can tell you when your VA claim will be completed. It's literally, who knows? So many different factors are at play. It will be completed when it's completed. Stay out of e-benefits and watch your mailbox. Your decision letter is all that matters. Once you pay attention and listen up for those dates for the C&P exams, once you complete those, stay by your mailbox. If the VA needs anything, they will probably call you and they will definitely mail you. But yeah, you're just waiting for the decision letter. Insomnia is considered a mental disorder, typically rated at 30%. Oh, that's what it is. It's a comfort Yoda. Sounds like you might have IBS. Yeah, no, insomnia is it's weird. And that's why I encourage you guys to look into this stuff, pay attention. You would think a sleep problem, is it a mental health thing? But now you know. You learn, the more you read, the more you understand. Sleep apnea is secondary to tinnitus all day, 0 days of the week. Nice. Steve's old school, got a legacy appeal going on. So what's that? When was legacy? The AMA kicked in February 2019. So yeah, you've been at me not nice. I'm sorry that you've been waiting for so long, but hopefully you're getting your question answers here. Okay, let's see. Do I need a nexus for ED? So you got your 100% P&T and you're chasing that SMCK. Right, J-Bone? You just said you just made it into the Hundo Club, I think last night or the night before. I think that's what you're going after. Having a nexus is better than not having a nexus, would be my thought. More evidence is better than not enough. It's kind of always the way that I'm going to be. You don't always need it. A lot of people don't have a vocational expert to prove a TDIU claim. They don't have a nexus letter to prove any claim. Always better to have more, because if you need it, it's sitting there for you. It can be. Absolutely. Got to remember, there's a lot of can be's. Lots of things. Your body's connected to everything, right? Your brain, your mental health. A lot of things can be secondary to mental health conditions. So can be and plausible and all that kind of stuff, but is it convincing? Is the rater going to see it? Are you going to paint this picture with medical evidence? It's like, oh yeah, well that's clear, and I've seen this a lot. That's what you need to learn. We covered lawyers a little bit. Did you hire a lawyer? If a lawyer took your claim, lawyers make money, right? So if they took your claim, that means they think you have something there that they can make some money on for you and for them. A lawyer will definitely help, but if your claim sucks and you got denied and you don't have the evidence, a lawyer could still help. Just, you might be in for a long battle. That's my 2 cents. Okay, let's see. I am. A lot of us are. What's up, Rick? How is Salt Lake City? Are you getting ready for the snowstorm? I think ours starts tomorrow. – 100% PMS, huh? I muse for you, 70% must. You can. And you don't even need to go the extra scheduler route. You could go from 60. If your 60% service-connected disability completely prevents you from maintaining substantially gainful employment, TDIU could be in the cards. Personally, I would get a vocational expert to explain that. Oh, you said 70% for MST. Sorry, you said must. I try to be responsive on this YouTube channel, and I try to go live a lot and try to get into these questions. And it's kind of a 2-part thing because the chat's going off and you guys are talking to each other, and I ramble on and wear stupid candy canes on my head, and eventually I answer the questions the best of my ability, but it's all about all of us getting together and talking about this stuff and giving each other advice. And hopefully you don't walk away with your head spinning so much you're confused and you're like, all right, well, I need to go learn something or I have a direction. Double check everything you hear and read, because you're going to have to apply this like to your own claim, and you're going to need to make it stick. Good afternoon. What does it mean when a claim is saying removed? I don't know. It sounds like you're looking into e-benefits too much. I would ignore that and watch your mailbox instead. Laura. Oh, dude, I missed your super chat, I think. Sorry. Thank you. Oh, okay. So the thumbs down are people south of the equator. They're actually Perfect. See, Christopher, thank you. That is a funny comment, man. You made my night. Always got to be looking for the positive. So easy to see the negative, especially when you're bogged down with mental health problems and live in chronic pain and chronic problems. Any laugh you can get is a good one. Laughing is healthy. I think that one was like a live stream a couple nights ago. Yeah, a bunch of VA cricket stuff going on. Yeah, I take trazodone. I've been taking that since 2008. I think in the early part of 2008, I took a cut, like I think Lunesta is one of them. I took a couple. Trazodone just works. My cocktail is trazodone and Xanax, and that gets me out for 3 or 4 hours, and I'll take that because I have insomnia. Any kind of sleep is good sleep. Even though in a sleep study, if you don't get deep into stage 3 or stage 4, it's not good sleep. I'll take my stage 2 over not sleeping. Merry Christmas to Combat Clyde as well. You just got a Merry Christmas, boy. What do you think? Overhead cam. Wow, hour and 24 minutes. We're rocking and rolling, huh? Yeah. Do not dox yourself. It's funny. You're not a dumb shit. But yeah, um, I'm not going to take any part of that, and I'm totally happy that you gave me your Proton Mail account, and I'm glad that you got a Proton Mail account. Good way to go. Nice and stealth. Yeah, yeah, and kind of to that point of doxing. Doxing, by the way, is calling yourself out and getting blown up for your real name on the internet. We don't do that here either. If your real name shouldn't be revealed, I don't support that activity at all. Any kind of specific call outs and stuff like that. I talk shit about a lot of people, a lot of companies and stuff, but try not to, call people out specifically. Um, we will get a pay raise. I just know the 100% one went from, let's see, 3106, I think, to 3146. So I think it's a 1.3%. So yeah, meh, not too big. Something. Depends on what kind of work you do. Be careful. Be careful if you're working on TDIU. Understand what kind of work you can do, what the financial restrictions are, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Tom. So basically, the secondary claim, the whole concept of a secondary claim is you already have something that's service connected, a direct service connection, could be a secondary service connection, and then that is causing another problem in your body. So that's basically what a secondary claim is. And
Thanks for the
there we
super
go.
chat.
Throw Jay up on the screen. Thanks for the super chat, brother. How do I get an expedited hearing in front of the BVA for pension? Does my lawyer have to represent me for both CNP and pension case? I'm going to let that one, I'm going to see if the chat can help you on that one, man. I don't know how you get an expedited hearing. Just, to me, kind of like expedited. If you're homeless, if you're terminally ill, to me, that is what expedited means, but I'm not really sure. All right, going back up. Hopefully somebody will help you, Jay. Yep. Don't run that dude off. Exactly. All right, let's see. Uh, if your employer is asking you if you have a mental disability, pretty sure that's illegal. ADA, American Disabilities Act. They can only ask you certain questions, and I'm pretty sure that's not one of them. Uh, could be wrong, but I would look into that law, and you only have to say certain things. Like, are you disabled? Yes. You don't need to go into the details of your disability. I'm pretty sure that's protected. It's none of their business either. Okay, let's see. Oh, I agree. He's been just huge. Huge, huge, huge. All right, let's see, let's see, let's see. You have 70% for insomnia alone, huh? Uh, I could do it through Ecamm Live. Because Zoom will give me your name. Let me look into that, and I will get back to you tonight about this. I use Ecamm Live for streaming, so I can literally just give you a link, and then we can be in interview mode through Ecamm. With Zoom, like I guess we could do like a fake Zoom account through email. That might work, or Skype. But we could do it through Ecamm Live, and I just give you a link, and you pop on. And I won't be trying to track your IP address. I don't even know how much info. You can just put it in whatever your name, ETX Patriot. Let me check into it though. Love to have you on, absolutely. I like your avatar. Yep, I'm with you, man. Let me make sure that I could do it anonymously. I have a pretty good idea, but let me check into it, and I will email you back. Yes, truth serum, spilling the truth. Licensed professional vocational experts are critical in TDIU claims. Well, there's best, but it's like what disability do you have, and is your tinnitus causing it? That's kind of the way that I would look at it. Um, if you're trying to just fit yourself into just something for the hell of it, because it's commonly a good secondary claim for tinnitus, kind of sounds like a bullshit claim to me. Some fraud, possibly. What's your disability, and is your tinnitus causing it? Is how I would look at that. Uh, Thanks, Walt. Well, you're in the higher ones that I don't really talk about. Yeah, the I live in Idaho, so half pipe would get weathered in like months. So if I'm going to do anything, I'm pouring concrete. Last forever, and concrete skate parks are way better than ramps. I mean, I'm totally all about ramps. I guess maybe I could build a structure and cover it. I would prefer to fall on wood. I can't really skate anymore. My body's too jacked up, and that stuff's no joke. You slam, that's how I busted my elbow, my nose, and my foot, all skateboarding. Love it. Love the adrenaline rush, but yeah. Our country could use some improvement in the taking care of its veterans department. Absolutely. Oh, I missed. Oh, okay, got that one. All right, let's see. Yeah, so for my sleep study, I illegally, I guess, or whatever, against doctors' prescriptions. When I did my sleep study, like I have insomnia and problems, and then it's like a sleep study, and And then I walk into the room and it's like there's a camera looking at you. And the dude's like, oh, yeah, we got to hook all these probes up to you. So I was like, I am doubling up on my Xanax dosage and my trazodone dosage because I wanted to actually sleep. But then I talked to a sleep specialist afterwards, and she said that the medication probably could have given an inaccurate reading, and I might have slept better, so just whatever. Bottom line is, I was able to knock myself out for 3 or 4 hours. They're able to collect some data. I didn't go past stage 2 sleep, but I was diagnosed with mild sleep apnea, and I'm aware of it. And yeah, sleep apnea sucks. At least I know I have it. Didn't know that till I was 50. No clue how long I've had it. That one's kind of tough because sleep apnea and insomnia are tied in together. I know insomnia, typically it is a mental health claim, but it is also associated with sleep apnea as well. I don't want to go too much more into it. Hey, you have a good night too. Got your email? Perfect. Okay. They're asking you about mental health problems for a federal position. Probably still illegal for them to ask you too many questions. American Disabilities Act. Well, I sleep with glasses and a candy cane on, and they say everything's fine for me. So, yeah, you're good to go. Good to go, Alex. All right, guys. Right, I'm at the bottom of the comments. We've been rocking and rolling. 116 people, 119 thumbs up. Appreciate all the love. An hour and 34 minutes is sufficient. So I appreciate all of you. Thanks for putting up with me in my candy cane hat. And I'm going to pop on tomorrow because I think it's important. We have somebody to share our Christmas with. So we'll do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow.